Hey guys, it's Cow, also known as your fave BPD Libra on TikTok, and I talk all things mental health, most of the time borderline personality disorder, but let's just get into the video. So today in this video, we're going to be talking about favorite person, which is very specific to borderline personality disorder. Other disorders can have a similar thing, but the favorite person is very specific to BPD. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So for BPD, a favorite person is someone that's just really, really important to them. It's like their favorite person. It's their most important person in their life. And oftentimes, majority of the time, it is an unhealthy attachment. Now, this can be your friend, your partner, your therapist, your coach, a family member, anything like that. It's just someone that's close to you. Majority of the time it is a partner, but it can be other things, and you can have more than one. Again, majority it's usually just one, but everyone's different. You can definitely have multiple. Favorite person is someone that we look for who gives us validation, reassurance. They take care of us. Basically, we want them to kind of baby us in a sense. For most of us, some people just kind of want that reassurance and that safety when they look for someone as their favorite person. The reason why it is always someone that's very, very close to us is because we often feel comfortable showing them that kind of side of us. And we also had a really hard time when we were younger making kind of those attachments, and that abandonment plays a big role in it. But we want their attention as much as possible. We want to spend as much time with them as possible. A lot of the times we'll completely ditch hobbies and friends and everything. We'll completely ditch everything that we were doing before we met them to just do everything with them and them only. And the quality of the relationship is very much defined by their tone of voice, their actions. If we sense that they're upset, our whole mood changes. Our whole day is ruined. If we sense that they don't like us or that they're going to abandon us, we're going to spiral and we're going to go into an episode as well. A lot of people like to pretend that their boyfriend or partner or whatever is their favorite person and they don't have BPD, and that's just not the case. This is like an obsession, okay? This is like an obsession. It's like very much so an obsession where we drop everything for them. And we also do this thing called splitting. This is also in the DSM-5 that I talked about in my other video. Splitting is our black and white thinking, our all good and all bad thinking, black and white. So something's either all good and they do something great and they're perfect and they're angels, or something's all bad. They do something wrong and all of a sudden they're evil, they're a horrible person. That's what that splitting is. And we definitely do that with our favorite person a lot. In the beginning of the relationship, there's that honeymoon phase, and it feels very, very good to us. We're very, very happy in that. Both of you are putting in a lot of energy and a lot of communication because you're in that honeymoon phase and it's new. And then once reality kind of starts to stick in, then that's when that devaluing comes into play. So at first we have them on this pedestal, we're idolizing them, they're amazing, they're perfect, and then we realize that they're human too. They make mistakes. They do things too that aren't right all the time because they're human just like us, and we kind of forget that a lot of times, that our favorite person is human also. And so when we do find out that they do something wrong, it doesn't even have to be like huge wrong, it can be just something really tiny. All of a sudden we're devaluing them, we're splitting, and we kind of go through those emotions. And of course it doesn't have to mean that, oh, we split on them and now we're going to break up with them. It can just mean that in that moment we're like, what's going on? Like, what am I doing? And then it can switch right back just as fast as it switched. And because we rely so heavily on our favorite person, it puts a big strain on our favorite person, especially when that communication isn't relayed about how they are your favorite person and things that you need from them and their boundaries and expectations as well. It can become a big strain on a relationship and put a lot of stress onto your favorite person when they don't know what's going on and don't understand it. And especially with our emotional dysregulation also, it makes having a favorite person hard, because one minute we're very, very angry at them, and then the next we may be so in love with them, and then the next we're sad they're going to leave us, and that can also put a big strain on relationships as well. So I'm going to kind of just lift off some symptoms of kind of what a favorite person does, like what we do when we have a favorite person. A lot of the times we need constant reassurance. We give them intense declarations of our love for them. We reach out more frequently to them when they aren't responding, or we feel like they're going to leave us or don't like us. A lot of the times we'll appear to be in crisis mode so we can get that help from them. even if we don't necessarily need it or want to be in crisis mode at that time. And we also experience a lot of jealousy and paranoia in a relationship or with our favorite person, because we feel like they're going to leave us, or they're going to find someone better, or someone else does something better than we do. We often become very codependent on our favorite person. Like I said, we look to them for pretty much everything. And so because we get so codependent on them, it's very, very unhealthy, not only for us, but for them as well. And so using those DBT skills to help the communication, to set boundaries and expectations is so, so important when you have a favorite person, because when things aren't explained and you don't have those boundaries and expectations set in between you guys, then it becomes kind of difficult to kind of maneuver through that favorite person relationship. So it's definitely very, very important to use those DBT skills for emotions and for communication and all that type of stuff when you have a favorite person. So in this video also, I kind of wanted to go into a little bit of things that we can do to help favorite person, and things that your favorite person can do to help you as well. And I'm also going to put in some DBT skills in here to help people use them with their favorite person, just to kind of have it all in one place, an explanation and help for it. So the best thing to do if you have BPD and you have a favorite person is always, always, always don't get rid of your hobbies and your friends. Hang out with your family. Have multiple people for different things. If you're looking at your favorite person, if you're in a relationship and that's your favorite person, and maybe you look to them for that love and that comfort, maybe try to have some friends where you can talk to about things, or where they kind of help you out in other aspects of your emotions in your life, so that way your favorite person isn't the sole responsibility for all of them, if that makes sense. Another big thing is to label the situation. When you feel yourself feeling those things, concerning a favorite person, like that jealousy and that paranoia, label it. Look for the facts, be mindful. If there is no facts about your paranoia or anything like that, then it probably isn't true. And always just be communicating. Communication is so important when you have a favorite person, and them giving you that reassurance is so important as well. And you also have to pause before you react. A lot of the times with BPD, we just kind of spit out exactly what we're thinking in that moment, and we don't really think about how we're going to act. We don't really act how we want to act. We just kind of spit out what we think, basically. So a lot of the times, taking a second and just pausing before you react to kind of get yourself together, get your mind right, helps out tremendously, rather than just trying to jump right into reacting and trying to figure it out. Your brain is not going to process everything the correct and positive, healthy way if you're just going to react right away. A lot of the times we just need to pause for a minute or two, get ourselves together, get our thoughts together and the facts together, and then react. Also, be accepting of disappointment. No relationship is perfect, no matter what you see on the internet, social media. No relationship is perfect, and every relationship has problems. And you have to understand that your favorite person is human, and they will mess up, or they will do something that's going to upset you every once in a while, small or big, because they're human. They aren't perfect like we think they are. So understanding that discomfort will come is a very great way to get your mind kind of prepared for your reaction. Because if you keep kind of reminding yourself that they're human, they're gonna mess up, they aren't perfect, they aren't this godlike figure that we've put in our mind, it helps you kind of to understand what they're doing and understand their thought process a little bit more. Because when we're jaded by that favorite person idolization, we often think that they will never do wrong. But that's just not the case. They will do wrong. They will do things that annoy us eventually. And that's okay. That's part of it. That's part of being in a relationship and in love. Now, for the favorite person and your partner or your friend or whatever has BPD, best thing for you to do is that reassurance. Give it to them when they need it. Also, for the favorite person, avoid lying. We typically do lie. When we don't mean to. A lot of the times we don't even realize we're doing it in an episode. But you should try to refrain from lying, since you can help it a little bit better without the BPD. Because the lying just kind of fuels our paranoia and our delusions and our thoughts more. And that goes both ways too. I know with BPD it can be hard. Sometimes you don't even know you're lying when you're doing it. But having that trust and that communication between you guys is so, so, so important to build a healthy relationship or friendship or whatever it is. Also, maintain your friendships and your hobbies. Just because we want to divide our entire life, we shouldn't. You should encourage us to also stay with our friends and our hobbies and interests as well. Don't let us do that to you also. It's important as a favorite person that you have other people also because both of you just relying on each other all the time will create a divide in the relationship, and it's just not healthy. You should always have other people you can look to for help also. So now we're going to go into DBT skills. So the first DBT skill I want to talk about is Dear Man. Dear Man is used when you want to assert assertiveness into a situation or argument, get what you want out of a situation and let them know your expectations and boundaries. And it's also a great way to communicate between each other without judging each other. So we're going to go through Dear Man. So the D stands for describe, and that's pretty self-explanatory. Just describe what you want out of the situation, out of the conversation. Describe clearly what you want. We're not mind readers. No one is a mind reader. So you can't assume that other people know what you want. Tell them clearly exactly what you want. The E is for express. You're going to express how you're feeling using I statements, not you statements. Be very clear and concise again, and express your opinions and your feelings on the situation so they can understand where you're coming from. The next one is assert. This can kind of be two different ways. The first way is you're going to be very assertive and what you want. Be very clear. Be very, this is what I want, this is what I expect. Or you could be saying no. So if someone is asking you something and they need something and you're not okay with it, this is where you would say no and it kind of, explain why no, but give that no. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to be, well, I'm really, really sorry, but no, just no. That's as clear as it needs to be. Reinforce is kind of like that reward thing. So if they're doing what you want them to do and you guys are effectively communicating, you're going to reward them for that and, say thank you, let them know that you're very appreciative of them listening and being understanding of you. That's where this kind of comes in for. Reinforce that thank you, that I appreciate you. That's important when you're communicating. The M is for mindful. You want to stay mindful. Look at the facts. Look at what's right in front of you. Don't get jaded by the past or the future. Look in the now. And like if the other person starts to get kind of hostile, don't match that reaction. Try to stay calm. Try to stay centered so that way the argument doesn't get heated. If one person's heated and the other one gets heated, then you're both going to be heated. But if one person can stay calm, it's a little bit easier for the other one to maintain that calmness and not react so strongly. So that's kind of important for mindfulness. The A is for appear confident. So you want to keep that eye contact. You don't want to whisper. You don't want to seem like you're defensive for asking for what you want or for denying someone to do something for you, like whatever it is. If they're asking you to do something and you don't want to, you want to appear confident. You don't want to let your guard down. You don't want to seem like it's like a pity party or judging. You just want to appear confident, keep that eye contact, keep that good communication, that kind of thing. The N is for negotiate. This is very important because to give, you have to get also, and to get, you have to give. So you both have to be putting in things. It can't just be, well, this is what I want and no to what you want. You have to kind of find a balance in between that and come to a conclusion together where you can both be happy rather than just one person be happy and one person not be happy. You want to kind of come to a conclusion where you can both be happy. And that's where that negotiation comes into play. But you also want to keep it very, very calm and very just easy. You don't want it to be very heightened in anger. Now we're going to talk about give and fast. So give is more used to respect the other person's boundaries and their wishes, and like their communication, whereas fast is more to respect yourself and your own wishes and your own values and boundaries. So we're going to do give first. So the G stands for gentle, and this just means be gentle, be nice, don't judge, don't use harsh tones or words. Try to be as kind and gentle as you possibly can. I know it can be hard sometimes when you're in a heated moment, but just try your best to just breathe and understand they're human too, and they're feeling the same things that you're feeling. They're angry and they're heated as well. The I is for interested. You always, always, always want to appear interested in what they're saying, and vice versa. If the other person is talking, you just always want to be interested in them. Like I said, maintain that eye contact. Nod your head. Say, yes, I understand. I get it. I understand. It's valid. What you're saying is valid. How you feel is valid. That goes a long way when you're communicating. And that also kind of goes with the V, validate. Those kind of go together. You want to validate and be interested in them. Them thinking that you want to listen to them. And the E is easy manner. This kind of just goes with that humor, being light and calm. Just even humor in an argument or communication can make things go so much better. Just trying to be judgmental or anything like that. So now for fast. So the F stands for fair. Now for fast. So the F stands for fair. You want to be fair to each other. Both of you guys should be being very fair and listening to each other. It shouldn't just be about one person getting what they want, but both people getting what they want. And the A is for apologies. Now this one is basically you don't want to apologize unless it's necessary. Don't apologize for how you feel or for speaking your mind. Only apologize when it is necessary. Otherwise, it kind of makes you seem not as confident and not as validating in your own beliefs as you would want to be. So only apologize when it's needed. You don't have to apologize for how you feel or what you think or your opinions. You don't have to apologize for that. The S is for stick to your values. You never, ever, ever want to compromise your beliefs and your opinions for someone else, just like someone else shouldn't compromise their opinions or their beliefs for you. Always, always, always stick to what you believe in and what you feel is right. And the last is T, trust. And this is kind of self-explanatory or truthful, whichever one you want to use for this T. But it's just be honest. Be honest with each other. Don't sugarcoat how you feel or what you're... Being honest is the best way to have a great communication with your favorite person, both ways. That is basically it for this video. Go follow me on TikTok, your fave BPD Libra, and I will see you guys in the next one.